Welcome students, welcome to lecture number 30 where we will be continuing with module number 4 under subject financial management. So as we know, this particular module covers capital budgeting theory, which we have already covered in lecture number 26. Then investment evaluation techniques. In that we have already seen the traditional methods for capital budgeting techniques, that is the payback period, discounted payback period, accounting rate of return in lecture number 27, 28, 29 respectively. Now we are left with the modern techniques for investment evaluation. So today we will be covering net present value and profitability index. These two again are techniques, methods which will help us to decide whether to go in for a particular investment or no. So it will help us in making the decision regarding a particular investment. So capital budgeting techniques, we have two methods as you all already know, traditional method and modern method. So modern method is also called as discounted cash flow technique method. So under this we have four, that is net present value, internal rate of return, modified internal rate of return, and profitability index. So today we will be learning about two techniques, that is net present value and profitability index. So let us understand under net present value technique, how do we make a decision, okay, regarding a particular investment. So first let us understand the meaning of this technique. So under this method, the cash inflows that is likely to accrue in future are discounted and brought to the PV of cash inflows each year. So what happens here simple is, we know that today when we are making a investment, it is your cash outflow. So present today, on the present day, if I'm making a particular investment, it becomes my cash outflow. But this outflow will fetch me returns over a period of time. Correct. After 1 year, 2 year, or to the life of the particular investment, I will be getting returns. So that returns becomes your cash inflow. Now in net present value, what happens is all your cash inflows in each of the year, whatever cash flows, inflows you're getting, you have to get it to the present value. Okay, present value as on today. Suppose after 1 year, I am getting 10,000 rupees. So that is my inflow after 1 year. So what is the value of 10,000 rupees today? So I have to discount it and get it to the today's value. So under net present value, you have to find out the present value of all the cash inflows. Okay. Then the total of PV of cash inflows for each year is compared with the PV of total cash outflows. So then the comparison becomes correct, because today's outflow you cannot compare with a future value, correct? So what you will do, whatever future value inflows you will be getting, you will bring it down to the present value, and then you will compare your outflow with your inflow. Now, simply I will ask you logically, you all give me the answer. Suppose I get the future value inflows to the present value, your outflow is a present value itself. So tell me, if my outflow is more than the inflow, should I accept the proposal, reject the proposal? What should I do, students? Suppose if my outflow is more than my inflow, should I go in for that particular investment decision? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Outflow is your expense, inflow is your returns.
Yes,
So if
ma'am.
your outflow is more, if your expense is more than your income, should you go for that particular investment?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Correct.
No, ma'am.
Correct. Correct. So when you will go for this particular decision of, investing in a particular proposal, when your inflow is more than your outflow, inflow means your returns is more than whatever you have invested. Correct. So logically you are understood why is this form, like how we will understand how is this formula of NPV like logically being built up. So PV of cash inflow minus PV of cash outflow. This is the formula. You will always minus your inflow with the outflow. Now, suppose if the answer of the inflow minus outflow is greater than 0, obviously you're going to accept the proposal because inflow is more. Suppose if it is less than 0, if you get it in negative, this answer, the formula, while using this formula, if you get the answer as negative, obviously you'll reject the proposal. And suppose if the answer is 0, both inflow and outflow are the same, the answer is 0, then it is indifference. Indifference means it is left to you whether you accept or reject the proposal. Since it is indifferent, like both inflow and outflow are same, then you make a choice. Indifferent it is. So, decision rule, how are you going to make? If the answer of NPV is greater than 0, you accept the proposal. Less than 0, you reject the proposal. Equal to 0, it is indifference. Indifference means it is like inflow is equal to outflow, then only you'll get answer as 0. So, it is left to you. You make a choice. You accept also, you will still, there is no benefit since it is 0. Your inflow is same as your outflow. So, it is indifference. Now, is this net present value technique clear to everyone? And this decision rule, did you logically understand why we have to accept, reject, or why is there indifference when it is 0? Is this clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll just tell you. Suppose if my PV of cash inflow is suppose 20,000 and my PV of cash outflow is 5,000, what should I do?
Accept the proposal.
Except ma'am.
Why should I accept?
Because inflow is a
Accept
more
the
than
proposal.
Because my NPV is 15,000, which is greater than 0, and PV of cash inflow is greater than PV of cash outflow. Now, it is very simple, students. When a cash outflow is given in the problem, you all can easily identify that is an expense or that is an investment that is being made. So, suppose if that investment is made today, you need not calculate PV of that because already it is invested today. So, suppose if 1 lakh is invested today, 1 lakh you will take as cash outflow. Now I want to know from you all, suppose after 2 years, I'm getting a return of 20,000. Example it is, I'm getting a return of 20,000. How will I bring that 20,000 to the present value today? Can anyone tell me after 2 years, what technique I have to use to bring the cash flow which I'm getting after 2 years to the present value today? Which technique I'm supposed to use? Suppose in future I'm getting 20,000 after 2 years, but I want to get it to the present value. Because in NPV, you have to bring all the cash inflows to the present value. So how should I bring it to the present value, students? Yes, we have done it in time value of money in module number 2. How are we going to get it to the present value?
Annuity.
Annuity is a series of cash flows. What I'm telling, single cash flow, that after 2 years, I'm getting 20,000 for investment what I have made today. Now, here PV of cash inflow, very simple, no students. After 2 years, if you're getting 20,000, how will you bring it to the present value? You will use a discounting rate. You will use discounting technique, not compounding technique. Compounding technique is to find out the future value. But if you want to find out the present value, you will use what? Discounting technique. So, discounting technique, you will have to use the discount rate. Okay, then that discount rate for 2 years you have to check in table. Which table? FM tables which are given to you all. Table number, can anyone tell me which table number should I check to use the factor to bring this 20,000 to the present value? Since I want to
Table
know,
number 2.
students, you all have forgotten. I
Table
have
number
on
3.
table number.
Table number 2. 3.
Now one student will tell me 4 and one student will tell me 1. So whoever has told me table number 3, can you explain why 3?
Table number 3 and 4 is for present value and 2 for future value.
Very good. Table number 1 and 2 is for future value. Table number 3 and 4 is for finding out the present value. Now 20,000 which I'm getting 2 years later, I want to find out the present value. Suppose if that 20,000, if I would receive today, what would be the value of that 20,000? So present value, always you have to use table number 3 and 4. Now 3 for single cash flow. Since 20,000 is a single amount, so I'm going to use table number 3. Suppose if it is every year 20,000 and I want to find annuity, then I will use table number 4. Is this clear to everyone? We will do problems on net present value, so you all will understand how to calculate the present value, which we have already covered, students, in module number 2. Is it clear, students? So what is the formula for NPV? NPV is PV of cash inflow minus PV of cash outflow. This formula, you will keep it in mind. This will help you all to solve the problems. Is this clear? Net present value technique? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Let us move
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
Let us move ahead to profitability index method. Now, what happens in this method and how do we make a decision? So first, let us understand the meaning. It is also termed as benefit cost ratio or cost benefit ratio. So see, students, profitability index is going to show you the relationship between your profit, going to show you a relationship between your cost and your benefit. So cost is nothing but your expense outflow and benefit is nothing but your returns and income. So it involves assessing the profitability arising out of a investment proposal. PI is expressed in terms of the ratio of discounted benefits over the discounted cost. So when I use the word discounted, it means present value. Suppose here if the word would be compounding benefits, then it would be future value. In module number 2, we have done two techniques, compounding and discounting. Discounting technique is used to find out the present value. Compounding techniques is used to find out the future value. So where here when they are saying PI is expressed in terms of ratio of discounted benefits, means benefits means what? Your cash inflows. So discounted means what? PV, present value of cash inflows over the discounted cost. Now cost is what? Your outflow, cash outflow. And what's the meaning of discounted? That is present value of cash outflow. Now since it is expressed in terms of ratio, you are going to divide it. As you all know, ratio how is ratio usually shown? It is shown in the form of a division. So formula for PI will be PV of cash inflows divided by PV of cash outflows. Now suppose the answer of this is greater than 1, you're going to accept the proposal. Suppose the ratio is less than 1, you're going to reject the proposal. And suppose if it is equal to 1, then you're going to be indifferent. That is, the answer is going to be indifference. That is, depends. Since both inflow outflow is having 1:1 ratio, you will decide whether you want to accept or reject. Okay, it is totally, since both are same. So the answer will be indifferent. Now, once again, I'm repeating profitability index. It will be shown in the form of a ratio. Therefore, there is a division here. Okay, PV of cash inflows divided by PV of cash outflows. It is going to show what is your benefit cost ratio. Benefit is your inflows, cost is your outflows, and then you have to make the decision based on PI is greater than 1, less than 1, and equal to 1. Based on this, you are going to make the decision rule. Now, students, tell me, how am I going to calculate PV of cash inflows? Suppose today I make an investment of 2 lakh rupees. After 5 years, I'm getting, suppose, 50,000 rupees. So I have to bring down this 50,000 to today's present value. So what are the steps to bring this 50,000 to today's present value? Yes, students? Yes? I just have explained that concept in my previous slide. So I'm asking you all that suppose if 50,000,
Discounting.
you use discount rate and you bring it down, multiply, and then you bring it down to the present value. So that discounted, that is the present value of cash inflows, you have to divide it by present value of cash outflows. Now, is profitability index method clear to everyone? Yes? Yes, students? Is it clear? Is this technique clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us see problems on NPV and profitability index. So before we move ahead with the problems, I just want to, see whether how much attention you all have paid. So can anyone tell me in net present value, how do you calculate the net present value? What is the formula? Quick, students. What is the formula to calculate net present value?
PV of cash inflow minus PV of cash outflow.
PV of cash inflow
Minus PV of cash outflow.
and for PI, how do we calculate? How do
PV of
Present
cash
value
flow
of
divided by PV of cash outflow.
Okay, how do we make a decision in case of NPV method? How do I make a decision?
if NPV is greater than 0, we accept the proposal. If NPV is less than 0, we reject the proposal.
And if NPV is equal to 0, then indifferent, totally up to you. Indifference. Okay, in PI, how do I make a decision rule? In case of profitability index, this is short forms I've written. In case of profitability index, how do I make a decision rule?
If the value of PI is greater than
PI
1,
is
then
greater
it is
than,
accepted.
Okay,
and it is less than 1, we reject the proposal, and is equal to 1, it is indifferent.
okay. You all have given correct answers. Okay. Now, why did I revise this simple thing that in final examination, many students make a mistake in the decision rule? Okay, many makes a mistakes in the formulas between NPV and PI. Since both have inflows and PV of cash outflows, lots of students make mistake in the formulas. They interchange the formula, they interchange the decision rule. That is why I have revised it and will keep revising it ahead also. Okay, so is this Word document clear to everyone? Is it visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so now let us start with sums on net present value. Okay. Project X cost rupees 2,500 now and is expected to generate year-end cash inflows of rupees 900, 800, 700, 600 and rupees 500 in years 1 to 5. The opportunity cost of the capital may be assumed to be 10%. Compute NPV of the project. First of all, can any student tell me what does this rupees 2,500 indicate, or what does this stand for? What is this cost rupees 2,500? What is this? Can any student explain?
Cost outflow.
Very good. It is cash outflow. Next, they are telling cash inflows are 900, 800, 700, 600, 500 from year 1 to 5. That means in 1 year, in the year 1, they are getting an inflow of 900. Year 2, they are getting an inflow of 800 and so on till year 5. So now means it is already the present value. So we in the problem already present value of cash outflow is given, that is 2,500. They are telling compute NPV of the project. Now let us see solution. So as you all already know, the formula for NPV is PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Now, you already have cash outflow 2500, but do you have PV of cash inflows, or you have to calculate it? You have to calculate it, because all these values, students, is the future value, that is after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. All these values you have to get to this value, that is as on today. So here it is not given, so we have to calculate by using the discounting rate. So your discounting rate is given 10%. So for this, a working note will be required. So you have to prepare a working note. So let us see the working note. Calculation of PV of cash inflows. What you got to do is write the year in a particular column. Cash flows, these two columns you take as it is from the problem. Next, take PV at the rate of 10%. Now, can any student tell me from where did I get these factors? Yes? Yes, students?
From table.
Table. So, this is the table. Okay. I will go to table number. Which table number, students? Again, I'm repeating, which table number will I
4.
go? Who said,
3.
who said 4?
3. Table number 4.
Who said 4?
Me, ma'am.
It is single cash flow. See, this is for year one. It is only one single flow inflow that you're getting. So you will get, so when it is single cash flow, you have to use table number 3. Again, I'm repeating, already previously also I've repeated, when you want to find out present value of a single cash flow, use table number 3. Okay, at PV at the rate of 10%. So you know that percentages, that is the rate, is given horizontally and number of years is given vertically. So at 10% for 1 year, what is the PV? It is 0.9091. So I have rounded off to 3 digits. You'll round it off to, you'll write the complete 4 digits, which is going to give you more accurate answer. So it is 0.909. Next, PV factor at 10% for second year. So for second year, what it is? 0.8264. So I've written 0.826. I have put only 3 digits after the decimal. Similarly, 10% for 3 years. 10% for 3 years is 0.7513. For the fourth year, it is 0.6830, and for the fifth year, it is 0.6209. So as it is, I have written this PV factors from table number 3, since it is a single cash flow each year. First year, you're getting only 900 rupees for the entire year. Second year, you're getting only 800 rupees at the end of the year. Therefore, you're using single cash flow. Now, how do we calculate then? With the help of factors and the inflows, you have to just multiply the inflow with the PV factor. You will get PV of cash inflows. So multiply 900 into this factor, that is 0.909. You will get 818.1. Similarly, multiply the cash inflows with the PV factor, that is 800 into 0.826, you will get 660.8. So do it for all the 5 years. Take the total of this, you will get PV of cash inflows, which is 2724.9. So this figure, we have to write it in our main answer. So PV of cash inflows is 2724.9. Take the difference, you will get NPV. Now students, is NPV greater than 0? Did you get your answer more than 0? Yes. What is the decision that I'm supposed to make?
Accepted.
Accept. Accept it. Very good. So decision rule, since NPV is greater than 0, therefore the project should be accepted. Now suppose if it would be minus 224.9, then what would my decision be?
Reject.
Rejected.
Very good. So is this problem clear to everyone? See, in NPV is very simple. All you need to do is just find out the PV of cash inflows. And how to calculate PV and all, we have already seen in module number 2. Is this clear? Is this problem clear? Can we move ahead to next problem? Yes? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
student.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, a company is planning to purchase a computer facility. Its expected cost is 2 lakh rupees and the projected cash inflows are as follows. So from year 1 to year 5, there is an inflow of 550,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 80,000, 60,000 respectively from years 1 to 5. The cost of capital is 12%. Should the company accept or reject the offer, compute NPV of the project. So, can anyone tell me what is the PV of cash outflow? Yes?
2 lakh.
2 lakh.
2 lakh.
Okay. Is PV of cash inflow given or do we need to calculate it?
Need to calculate.
Okay. What is the discount rate?
12%.
12%.
Very good. So, first, see, student, this 2 lakh rupees, no, why we are not calculating this PV of cash outflow is this 2 lakhs is as on year 0. So suppose even if you take discount rate at the rate of 12% for the year 0, it will be 1. So 2 lakh into 1 will be 1. This calculation also I will show you all. But before that, we will find out the PV of cash inflows. So solution, the formula for NPV is PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Okay. So let us first do a working note for cash inflows. So see, calculation of cash inflows. These two columns you want to take as it is from the problem. Next, you have to take PV at the rate of 12%. Now, can anyone tell me which table number should I go in for in order to get these factors? Yes, which table number? In my
Table
FM
number 3.
tables, table number?
3.
Who said 4 now again?
3 only.
Why 4? Whoever said 4, can you tell me why 4? Yes? See, I have to go in for table number 3 because it is calculating present value of a single cash flow. If you want to see table number 4, it is present value for an annuity. And what is the meaning of annuity? Series of equal payment or equal inflow. So here you're getting single amount for the year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 respectively, right? That is why you have to use table number 3. Again, I'm repeating table number 3. It is present value of a single cash flow and not annuity. Okay, single cash flow, I will see 12% for 1 to 5 years. So this entire figures from 1 to 5 years, from this 5 years, that is 0.8929, 0.7972, 0.7118, 0.6355 and 0.5674. This I will write it as it is in column number 3. Then I will multiply the cash inflows with the present value at 12%. That is, I'll multiply this inflows with the factor. I will get PV of cash inflows. Take the total of this. You will get total PV of cash inflows, which you're going to write it in your main answer, that is PV of cash inflows. Now, can we calculate PV of cash outflows? Yes? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me show you all how do we calculate PV of cash outflow. Year 0, your cash outflow is 2 lakh. And see, students, always remember PV at whatever rate it may be at any rate. If it is for year 0, the PV will always be 1. Okay, so 2 lakh into 1, 2 lakh. So PV of cash outflow is 2 lakh. Actually, this working is not required since your no 2 lakh is invested today. So obviously today is a present value. The value will be 2 lakh, but this calculation I'm showing you all. Okay, because you all should know that in year 0 the PV is always 1. And sometimes what happens, an investment is made today, an investment is made a year later also. So in year 1, okay, if you'll have to find out the PV of cash outflow, then this is the way you're going to find out the PV of cash outflow. Is this clear? So obviously it is true, like you all knew it, but I just wanted to tell you for year 0 always the factor is going to be 1. So what is the NPV? 64,510. So should the company accept the proposal or reject the proposal? What is the
Accept
decision?
the proposal.
Why accept?
Accept.
Why accept?
Because
Why
cash
accept?
inflow is greater than
And
Cash inflow is greater than cash outflow and NPV is greater than 0. Very good. Now, can we move ahead to problem number 3? Yes. So basically, students, you all have understood NPV actually is very important from exam point of view, but just if you know what is the PV of cash inflow and just if you know what is the PV of cash outflow, you will easily know, derive at your answer. So let us move to problem number 3. Z limited expected cash inflows are as follows. So see students here, now carefully see. Here, cash outflow and cash inflow. When I say outflow, what is the meaning of outflow? Quick students, what is the meaning of outflow?
Expenses.
Outflow means
Expenses.
your investment, whatever you're going to make. Cash inflow is your returns, whatever you're going to get from the investment that you have made. Now, year 0, you have made an investment of 10,000. Then again, after 1 year, you have made a investment of 2,000. But in that same year, you also got returns of 3,000. Then thereafter, year 2, 3, 4, you have not made any investment, but you have got a cash inflows from year 1 to 4, okay, of 3,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 respectively. Now, the scrap value end, the scrap value at the end of 4th year is 2,000. Okay, cost of capital is 10%. Compute NPV. So now can anyone tell me what are the two cash outflows given in the problem? That is 10,000, 2,000, and cash inflows are given from year 1 to 4. Now what is the discount rate that is given in the problem? Yes.
10%.
10%.
Okay.
10%.
Now we have to calculate NPV. So what is the formula to calculate NPV? PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Now, can we directly write 12,000 students as cash outflow? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
No, we cannot write. Reason, let me explain. Today, today is year 0. Okay, today 10,000 investment has taken place. After 1 year, after 1 year, 2,000, okay, outflow, cash outflow has taken place. So after 1 year, you have to bring it down to the today's value because we have to find out PV of cash outflow. That is, this 2,000 value, you have to get it to the value to in the year 0. So you have to find out the PV of cash outflow as well. Suppose this 2,000 was not here. Suppose here it was nil. Then obviously the cash outflow, PV of cash outflow would be 10,000 only. Always you have to get the values to the year 0. Now, since this 2,000 investment is made after 1 year, this value you have to bring it as on today because the formula says PV of cash outflow. This is PV, 10,000 is PV, but 2,000 is the future value after 1 year. You have to get it down to this year 0. Again, you will use the discount rates and you'll find it out. But this 12,000 will not be written as it is because you have to find out the PV of cash outflows. Since your inflows are you're getting after year 1, after year 0, that is from the first year, therefore you're going to calculate the normally PV of cash inflows. So let us see the solution. Formula for NPV is PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Did logically everyone understood why a working note is required to calculate PV of cash outflows and why we have not directly written 12,000? Is this clear to everyone? Why we have not written 12,000? directly? Yes? Yes, students? Is it clear why we have not written 12,000 directly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Since the formula says present value of cash outflows, it doesn't say PV of cash inflows minus cash outflows. It's a present value of cash outflows. Okay. So let us do working note for cash inflows. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to take the figures as it is. Okay, cash inflows figures, you will take it as it is. Plus in the fourth year, students, you're getting a scrap value of 2000. Scrap value means you have sold at the end of the year, you have sold that particular investment. You're getting it, you're getting the value of it as 2000. Now, students, when you're selling something at the end and you're getting some amount, so is it an inflow or outflow? Of cash, I'm asking, because it is cash inflow and cash outflow. When you're selling something, do you get a cash inflow or cash outflow? What happens?
Inflow.
Inflow.
Inflow,
Inflow.
ma'am.
Therefore, in the year 4, you're going to take your cash inflow as 2000. 5000 you will take, plus you will take 2000 also as your cash inflow. So see here, year 1 3000, year 2 5000, year 3 5000, year 4 5000, and year 4 again you're getting a cash inflow of 2000 rupees, which is your scrap value. So is this part clear to everyone? All you need to identify is whether that particular value is inflow or outflow. If it is inflow, put it in the calculation of PV of cash inflow. If it is outflow, put it in the calculation of PV of cash outflow. Now up to here, is it clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Why did we take this scrap value? Is this clear?
Yes,
Quick,
ma'am.
students. Okay, next we need to, take the discount rate and find the PV factors. So PV at the rate of 10% is already given as the rate of discount in the problem. Now quickly tell me which table I'm going to use for this. Which table number should I see for this?
3.
Table number?
Number 3.
Okay, everyone is saying table number 3. Agreed? Very good. Now, table number 3, I will take for 10%. Okay, these values as it is, I write for year 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, students, for the year 4, we have two values. One is 5000 and one is 2000 scrap value. Should I write the same factor for both the values? Yes? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because it is for the fourth year. Okay, no matter how many cash flows you're getting in the year 4, you're going to write the same value. Don't write value of the year 5 because you're getting the scrap value in fourth year itself. So for both the four years, you're going to write the value factor, PV factor as same, that is 0.683. Okay, next step is you have to multiply these two. Okay, then you will get the PV of cash inflows. Take the total of PV of cash inflows. The total comes up to 15,393. That you have to write it in your main answer. PV of cash inflows is 15,393. Next, you have to calculate PV of cash outflows. So in my previous problem, we have already seen how to calculate PV of cash outflow. Write the year 0 and 1. Your outflow in year 0 was 10,000. Year 1 is 2,000. Now, PV factor is already given 10% in the problem. Now, we know that PV, let it be at any rate of discount, for the year 0 will always be 1. Okay, and 10% for first year. See, 10% for first year. See, here you do not have any 0. Here 0 is not there if you've seen in period. So, therefore, year 0, the PV factor will always be 1. Remember that, students. So 10% for 1 year, 0.9091. So for the first year, since the year is 0, the PV will be 1. For first year, the PV we have taken from table number 3, that is 0.909. Multiply this to, okay, that is first year, obviously present value will be 10,000 itself. The the 0 year, obviously it will be the same value as cash outflow will be the PV. For the first year, you have to multiply it with the present value factor. Then the PV of cash outflow, the total comes up to 11,818. This you have to write as it is in the main answer, 11,818. Your NPV is 3,575. Now, what is the decision that I'm supposed to make? Yes, students? Yes?
Accepted.
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 Now, did everyone understand this particular problem? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Solve PV of cash inflows. Okay, very good. Solve PV of cash inflows separately, PV of cash outflows separately. Suppose if even in year 2, if there was an outflow of 7,000, suppose, what you would do, just simply in this working note, you would write year 2 7,000, take the factor of year 2 at 10%, multiply it and add it to this. That was the only change you would have done. So separately do calculations for outflow as well as inflow. If outflow is for year 0, the answer will be the same. PV will be the same. But suppose if year 1, 2, 3, they have given you outflows as well, then you have to do the separate working note for that. Now, problem number 4 is a little big problem which we may not be able to cover by 11. We will do this problem in the next lecture. So thank you so much, students. We are done for the session for today. Thank you.